Kumo DTV, man, and right now we're gonna look at how Mamdani revokes executive orders that support Israel or benefit Israel somehow. Honestly, I just came across this. Don't really know exactly what he revokes. Yeah, it says NYC Mayor Zohran Mamdani revokes controversial Israel and anti-Semitism orders after inauguration. W. Mamdani for that. Still a socialist weirdo, but...
And New York City's first Muslim mayor is now officially in office. Zohran Mamdani, the youngest mayor the city has seen in more than a century. He took the oath of office on New Year's Day, first being sworn in at midnight by New York's Attorney General Letitia James, and later in the day at City Hall by Senator Bernie Sanders. Scripps News national correspondent Alex Miller is live in New York with the latest. And Alex, the new mayor just wrapped up a press conference. What did we learn?
Well, he did take a couple of questions, but the focus of the press conference was announcing two major positions. First, that he is creating an office of mass engagement, and it will be led by the woman who was really the mastermind behind mobilizing the volunteers that we saw during his campaign. The second is that he appointed the chair of his advisory committee on the judiciary, who said while he was speaking that they're going to appoint what he says is many judges, and that they are planning to expand their search beyond the normal way that they do things. They have campaigned.
I don't know why, I'm just thinking about this. I don't know why they harp on the fact that he's a Muslim, bro. He's not any type of traditional Muslim, bro. This dude supports so many things that is against Islam, and they still feel the need to be like, yeah, Muslim. Dude, he's not even Arab. He's Indian and was born in Uganda. And come on, bro. What are we saying, bro?
Mamdani campaigned on getting regular New Yorkers into politics. And one of the other things he talked about was making sure that universal child care is put into place. He called it critical for taking care of specifically Latino New Yorkers so that they can stay in the city. And he also talked to Andrew about bringing back people who've actually moved out of the city, moved to Pennsylvania, moved to New Jersey because of the cost of living. He indicated that that is a priority as well to bring them back.
And Alex, he was asked about rescinding.
I don't know about bringing people back. I'm pretty sure they've been replaced by all of the immigration.
Certain executive orders on Inauguration Day. Remind us which ones he actually rolled back and some of the criticism that's come with it.
Well, he signed 5 executive orders on Inauguration Day, the bulk of them pertaining to housing. But the first one that he signed was rolling back a number of Adams-era executive orders, particularly from September 2024. He says this is to ensure a fresh start. If you remember, September 2024 is when Adams was indicted. Now, they cover a slew of issues, things like closing the office he's now doing on related to rat mitigation, cryptocurrency growth. He's stopping the executive order that allowed ICE agents to operate on Rikers Island for the purpose of criminal investigations. But the rest of those executive orders from that time period really relate to combating anti-Semitism. He is keeping the office that Adams created in May, combating anti-Semitism, though it is unclear if staff will remain who are already there. The Mamdani's office is already planning to make amendments to it. But the big issue that we saw this morning was him being asked about his decision to scrap the adoption of the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance definition of anti-Semitism. That is something that the city was working off of. It is a definition of anti-Semitism that many local and state governments have adopted, as well as governments globally. But many anti-Zionist organizations reject this because it lists as an example of anti-Semitism, denying the Jewish people the right to self-determination. Now, when he was asked about this today, it was the only time that he read from a piece of paper there.
Yeah, because what that means is taking land from Palestinians, bro. What are you saying? No one is going to agree to that. And it's not just anti-Zionist. It's anyone who's anti-Israel. Like there's people in Israel who aren't probably necessarily Zionist, but they don't care. I don't think 98%, 99% maybe even, do not care about Palestinians or Palestinian life or anyone else in the region that's not a Jew. They do not care. They want to create Greater Israel. They are working towards the Greater Israel project, and that is their goal. They want pieces of other nations, and they want to take over pieces of those other nations, and it is going to be theirs, and you can't get it back ever. And this is something that he's not probably gonna be okay with, and a lot of other people aren't okay with it. And there is no actual official definition of anti-Semitism. That's why they're saying this Holocaust organization's working definition. You see how they said working definition? Yeah, working definition means that they're still working on that definition. So it can change at any time. All the quote unquote definitions of anti-Semitism are all working definitions. And guess who controls all of these working definitions of anti-Semitism? They're all Jewish organization or just Jews themselves. And newsflash for everyone that doesn't know, Jewish people aren't the only Semites in the world. So Arabs are also Semites. They're Semitic peoples. So all of this anti-Arab rhetoric we hear in America and in the West, and all of this anti-Islam stuff we hear in the West, that's actually anti-Semitic, because you're anti-Semitic people and their beliefs and their some even their existence. So it's a very challenging and annoying problem that we have here in America and in the West. It's very annoying.
He was reading a statement saying that he is relentless in his efforts to combat hate and division, but he didn't really explain exactly why he wanted to cut this definition from the city's mandates. A number of Jewish organizations have voiced concern in the last 24 hours about this and his decision to roll back executive orders pushing back on the Boycott Israel.
Well, I just told you why. It doesn't include all Semitic people, which is anti-Semitic itself. You only looking out for the Jewish people and trying to abuse the power and use of the word anti-Semitic and exclude all other Semites is anti-Semitic within itself.
Movement, as well as one of Adams' most recent executive orders, Andrew, which directed the NYPD to restrict protests that were close to houses of worship. There was one particular protest on the Upper East Side just a couple of months ago outside of a synagogue that prompted this. That has also been rolled back so that people can protest closer to houses of worship.
All right, much more to come there. Scripps News national correspondent Alex Miller for us in New York.
Man, yeah, that's all. So I said what I had to say. They are, they're the real anti-Semites. So yeah, just think about that. When they're advocating for all this anti-Semitism, this anti-Semitism, that, but they're only talking about the Jewish people, and there's other Semites that are not Jewish by definition, that is anti-Semitism within itself. So Kumo DTV everywhere, KumoCast on YouTube. Go follow me, like, comment, subscribe, share the video. I'm out.